G'day, it's Jono here, and welcome to Monday Myth Check Disc Edition. So for the next few months, I'm going to be running a series of Monday Myth Checks around a behavioral tool, behavioral language I like to call it, called DISC. And basically what DISC does is it groups people into 4 groups and combinations thereof in terms of the way they behave. They're dominant, influencing, stabilizing, or conscientious. And so let's talk about the myth. The myth is that it's your identity, it's your definition, and it is not. It's a highly valuable language. That's really what it is in terms of understanding how we communicate, how we connect and disconnect, and how we get along. But it's not just about the nice, fluffy get along stuff. This is a way we can understand each other, we can challenge each other better, and basically you can build higher performing teams and more profitability into our businesses, into our business units, or into the business that we own. So this is a great tool for leaders and their teams to really create an open conversation, and really essential for that purpose. So let's have a look at the idea that this is who I am, right? And so there's 3 things. If I think DISC is who I am, then I'm going to start to run into some problems, okay? Let's talk about those for a minute. So first of all, if it's who I am, then I'm not going to be prepared to change, okay? I'm not going to be prepared to adapt. The whole point of these tools is so we can better serve others as leaders. That's the whole point of them. Not just for us to feel good about ourselves. Oh, is that why I behave that way? No, it might define some things about you, but it isn't your identity. It might tell you that you might be a bit prone to a certain behavior, and so that might play into, for example, your emotional intelligence, but it is not your identity, okay? So if I ultimately make it my identity, then that's a challenge. I don't want to learn and grow, okay? The second thing is that I'm just going to say, well, bad luck, that's just who I am, right? And of course, it plays off the first one, but in the sense that if I'm just saying bad luck, that's who I am, I'm just the dominant, so you just put up with me being I won't say the word on camera, but if I just do that, then, there's going to be people who don't trust me. That there's going to be people that don't want to understand me because I don't want to understand them. That's just not part of who the dominant is. That's not true, by the way. And then I think a third thing, when we look at DISC and the challenges it creates, we start talking about DISC is my identity. Okay, we need to understand that models like DISC, and you could look at Enneagram or Myers-Briggs or Predictive Index or any of these other tools. You can look at any of these tools, and at best, they're going to give you 20 to 25% of who that person is, right? So yes, behaviors point to challenges people have had in the past, maybe identity that they hold. But at the end of the day, these are tools that are meant to be developed and used in conjunction with other tools. And obviously, first and foremost, actually meeting the person, talking to them and asking questions. So yeah, DISC can really help you. For example, in the interview process where you assess someone, you never reject a prospective employee based on their DISC profile. But what it will do is it'll give you a chance to ask some questions so that you can help fill in the gaps there, okay? Something like that. So it's all about this idea. So I want you to think about this today. So I'm saying this because I have actually launched an online DISC workshop. You can go to my website and you can put yourself in there. It's 13 videos. There's a companion guide in terms of the notes and so forth. You can keep that for yourself. Plus there's then a worksheet for each video. On top of that, you'll get a very comprehensive DISC assessment included. And so, that whole process, then at the end, you can book a 15-minute session with me where we can just quickly talk over it and see what those ramifications are for you, your leadership, maybe your business or your team. So that's where we're at today. I want you to take action on that. That's 3 points in an action. That's going to be the action for the next month in terms of understanding the DISC series of the Monday Myth Check. I'm Jono. DISC is not your identity. As always, enjoy the journey. Well, g'day, it's Jono here today, and I want to quickly talk to you about self-awareness in leadership and a DISC program that I'm launching. So one of the areas that I'm really well trained in, worked in for 15 to 20 years, is this assessment tool called DISC. And it basically helps you understand how people behave, how they interact with each other, how they connect, how they disconnect as well, how they can handle conflict, how they coach, how they guide, all these different things. But at the end of the day, it comes from this really important premise that the most important thing in a great leader is an understanding of their own space, their own disposition, their self-awareness. So this DISC workshop is designed to be a simple multi-video process where you can unpack DISC and you can look at it in terms of your own space. You'll do an assessment, so you'll know what your assessment is, and then you go through the videos and you can then book a 15 to 20 minute session with me at the end if you want to. But then also think about, okay, how does this apply to my team? And should we be doing this into your team?
But this is where we're at today. I want you to think about coming and doing this disc workshop with me. It's all online, so you can do it at your own pace, and then we can chat at the end. Hope you're enjoying the journey. I'm looking forward to seeing you on my disc workshop.